the 7 effective principles to deal with change. And before starting, I would like just to introduce also myself. Okay. So who is Russel Subayi Mbaya? So I'm a, I'm a refugee here in UK since almost 5 years. I've been living here in UK. I came from Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. For the people who don't know exactly where it is, it's in Central Africa. So it's a country we are speaking Lingala and others language and also French. So we are in terms of international, we are French country. And also I'm an author of this book. So I've published a book that's called The 3 Effective Steps to Rebuild Your Life. So you can find it in Amazon. And also back to my country before coming in UK, I've been involved to many projects as a manager. I've managed a lot of projects in terms of humanitarian projects in Central Africa, central countries in Africa, so that speak French. So I've been involved helping people to find jobs, good education, and also to create a job. So I was involved working with many NGOs. So this is what I've been done in the past. And also I spent time to be also, I work in press, in journalist for some years, and also as a missionary in Ivory Coast and Togo. I tried to go and teach a little bit gospel, and I was involved in LDS Church. So here in UK, I've been also doing a lot of work with British Red Cross, Refugee Action, and I'm part of Last Voice group, is a EBE group from Refugee Action, who's helping refugees and asylum seekers. With the British Red Cross, I'm involved in a group that's called Displacement and Migration. We are thinking how to make a strategy to help others, people who are coming here in UK to face the challenge with new life. So more on that, I'm a husband. I have children, and I have family. So I think this is the most of things that I can say about me. So as you can say, all of this is bringing change in life of people. So this is what I was thinking that maybe it's a very good idea to share about the principles that we can use to deal with change. Wherever what we are, wherever what we want, we will always have change in our life. So the same need we have like wash, eat, work, all vital needs in our life, it's same also with change in our life. It's part of our life. So the change can happen, can come like going to the new country, having a new neighbor, you have to deal with that. It could be finding a new job or lose the job. So it depends on what change can be in your life. It could be also maybe break of a relationship, divorce, or anything with partners. So it brings change. So that can be also the loss of a beloved one. So we need to see how we can deal with that. And also that could be an accident, illness. So that change everything in your life. So wherever what happens, the change will be part of our life. So it could be opportunity. People can see that some opportunity in that change. Others can see also the opportunity to give up. So it depends on how you see the change in your life. So sometimes when change comes in our life, what we are thinking, what people are thinking when change comes, we use always to ask questions when change happen in our life. Sometimes we just ask, what am I done wrong? Will this situation could pass? It's my fault. What lesson should I learn from the change? Am I able to take this change? So it depends. Always we ask questions to ourselves. But I would like to share maybe some quotes before giving my receipt when change comes in my life, what I used to do, like but we need just to reflect on this quotes from people who said about change. For example, Nido said, change brings opportunity. Maya Angelou said, if you can't change it, change your attitude. And John Maxwell said, change is inevitable. Growth is optional. So we cannot fight with change, but we have an option to grow or to give up. So there are far better things ahead than any we leave behind, says Lewis. And the last one quote that I would like to remind this morning is about you never change your life until you step out your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. So there is a lot of positive thoughts that we can think. We can just remind us when change happens in our life. So today, this morning, so I would like just to share some receipts for me. And I know that everyone has his own way of dealing with change, but I will just share some 7 principles that we can use it in our life. The first one is make peace with your past. So I think wherever the change comes, we need to sit and make peace with our past. For doing that, we need to tune to yourself, to, to apply the acceptance and to try to being at peace with yourself. To tune to yourself means that we need to have time to go into our side, inside of ourselves. We're always going outside. We need to meet people. We need to go to be a little bit more reactive. But we have not too much time to go and sit, meet ourselves and ask questions. Try to clean inside of ourselves. When change happens, whether good or bad, we need to take time to tune to ourselves. The same way that we're cleaning room, we're cleaning markets, we're cleaning town, we need to clean inside of ourselves. That means we have to use what is called the hygiene of conscience. Clean yourself first. Think about yourself. That will bring peace with your past. The acceptance. That means wherever what happened in the past, we cannot change it. It's happened already. We can take lessons from that, but we cannot change it. It's a lot of loss of energy for people who are trying to change what happened already. So it's what one author said that is a French author. He said John. His name is Jean-Paul Sartre. He said we all alive, but some are dead. It's a living death to be surrounded by perpetual worries, perpetual of judgment of the actions from the past that cannot be changed. So if we always worry about what has happened in the past, we are living, but we almost die. We are almost dead. So we should not spend a lot of energy to think what was in the past, what I did, and we need just to take a lesson and accept what happened. That will bring peace in ourselves. It's very important to be in peace in yourself. This is the first principle. Try to make peace with your past, wherever what it was, good or bad. The present, the future depends on how we deal with our past. That's very important. The second principle is about be awareness. Be awareness. When change happens, we need to be awareness. We need to tune the radar inside of us. We need to tune on the radar inside of us. Be aware about yourself, about people around you, about the situation, about also the environment. So tune on your radar. Tune on radar to yourself, to people, to the situation that happened. To yourself, you need to know exactly who you are, what your value, what you can take, what you cannot take. We are all going around big change right now, the pandemic. So we need each of us to own the radar inside of ourselves to know exactly if how to deal with the COVID, for example. So what's the expectation from people who are around you? So what's the fact in the situation? What is the fact and what is not the fact? We need to know that. And what is going with the environment. So turn on your radar. So when change happens, when change comes, just turn on your radar. The three principle is adaptability. We need to adapt ourselves wherever change happens, good or bad. We need to adapt ourselves, and we can learn it from this animal, chameleon. I think is the same with English word. In French, it's chameleon. So we need to adapt ourselves because the change is not a straight line. The change is not a straight line. So we need to adapt ourselves. So we need to take color on what is happening, but we need to stay in core. Adapt, but don't break. Be a chameleon with a core. The core means our value, our belief, the things that we cannot live. So you can adapt yourself, but you should know also where you are in the core that you should not break. And also when you adapt yourself, think about something that I put in my book that's called lemon is only important when it has juice. So when you adapt yourself in the changes coming, think that you will be more important if you have something value to give to the society. Where we are living, people will value you according to what you can bring to the community, you can bring to the society. So adapt yourself, but try to have a juice in your lemon. If not, it will be hard for you. So adaptability is the third principle that I would like to share. The five, I think, so it should be the five. I will be back. I will see if so. What it says, what I would like to say here is the theory of boxer. I really don't like the violence in boxing fight, but there is a lot of lesson we can learn from the boxing fight. I try myself to look what lesson could I learn from that. I put it even in my book. So the first lesson, because life is like fighting, we have to know when we can take a punch and when we can give a punch. This is what the boxers are doing always. But if you look carefully on boxing fight, you will see that there is a lot of things, there is a lot of lesson we can learn from that. For example, the first lesson I learned is protect your school. If you see all what the boxer is doing, they are protecting their head, their school, their brain. So the change when it's coming, make sure that it not affect your brain, your mental health, because the change is always affecting our head. And this is where I would like to quote another author that I like from America. The name is Vincent Paul Normand. He said, the only one function of our body is to sustain the head, our mind. So we need always to protect our school when the change happens. The second lesson I took is take a rest between rounds. If you see the boxer, when they give a lot of punch, fight, they take a rest. When the bell rings, they have to sit, go to the coach, listen to what they can share. So this is what can happen also in our life. Sometimes we need to take a rest. We need to stay, to be surrounded with good people. The coach could be your mother, could be your father, could be your friend, could be your partner, could be someone nice. Just you have to listen to, and then come back again to fight. So when the change happens, we need just to sit, to take a rest a little bit, and to sometimes you will see that there is no solution, but we need to remind ourselves that the time heals everything. We need to give just time for something. Something that I also observe with the boxer fight is have a doctrine. If you see the boxer, they always have something to motivate themselves. It could be a song, it could be advice, it could be a name, it could be something but just have something that can motivate you when you are down. For example, myself, I really like this name. Chimunavita is the name of my ancestor who is a warrior. So all the time I feel myself down, I remember about this name. I remember about the name that so it could be advice from someone, but just have a doctrine. Have something with you that can bring you up when you are down. And something else that I learned from the boxer is don't let sound of spectator bother you. Wherever what happened in the change, good or bad, we will always have people around us who will say things, bad or good. But as a good boxer, just focus on your fight. Focus on what you are doing and stay authentic. That will be very important. So this is the technique of boxer. So this is where I should come. The diplomacy should be before this one. So uh, when change happens, make sure and you should know that also the conflict will always happen. The conflict will always happen. But what we need is to remember that on earth come on ground and influence outcome. We need always to find a middle solution. When change happens, when change come in our life, we need to deal, to know how to deal. We need to know how we can be so diplomatic. Try to find always a middle solution with people. Sometimes we need to make sure we need to choose about being happy or being right. Most of the time we need just to be right. You think that you are right, but do you think that when you are right, you are happy with that? So we need just to make sure that we are happy also when we are right. Sometimes you could accept that you are not right and but you stay happy. So this is the principle that I would like also to think when change happens. Be diplomatic. The diplomacy is very important. So think about the success. Think about not think about things that can just uh, divide you and separate you with other people. So, well, after doing everything, diplomacy, be awareness, make a peace with yourself, with your past. We every day in our life we need to take a decision. So sometimes the decision could be small, could be big, but all decision we are taking is influence always our life. So one of the principles is this technique called whole body decision. When you are taking a decision, think what part of your body you are using most to take your decision and make sure that it's a good decision. The whole body decision says that we need to make sure that we are using the most important part of our body to make a decision. It could be a brain. Most of us, we always think that we need only to use our brain to take a decision. This is a very important part of our body as well. The brain is the place uh, of reason, the place of fact. The brain helps you to see the reality. What is logic? What is not logic? And the U.S. Army made a research and said that the soldier who is using brain during the war or during the operation, they are almost 70% to be right. But you should think if you are inside of the war and you are only making a decision with 70% is not enough for you as a soldier. So this is why the whole body decision says we need to use also other party of our body to make a decision. The earth, we need to listen also the earth when you are making a decision. Not only the brain, add on the brain, you can add your earth. Earth is a place that we feeling emotion. Good or bad, you will feel that in your heart. You can feel negative emotion, positive emotion. You can feel resentment. You can feel everything. And the heart is where we have is a place that we keep our force, our electricity, electromagnetic force in our side. And the research said that you can communicate with the hurt without even saying anything. You can feel someone who is living far from you by inside of your hurt if you are the the person like you or dislike you. So hurt is very also important. When you are trying to make a decision, use your brain, use your heart, use also your gut. So the gut is in our belly. Sometimes we can feel fears in our gut. So if you see, the structure of gut is the same structure with brain. So it seems like we have two brains in our body. So the whole body decision is just be aware on when you are taking decision. Use your brain, think what you are feeling in your heart and what you are feeling in your gut. That will help you. So use your brain, heart, and gut together to make a good decision. The last one is the persistence. We should not give up. When change happens, when we lose maybe someone, when the relationship break up, we have a new job or we need to start a new project. So the change bring a lot of things, but we need to remember that is the opportunity to grow or is the opportunity also to give up. But as personally, I choose not to give up. Persistence is one of the principles. So melt obstacles and visualize your success. See the end, what it will be the end that will give you strength to to go further. So when you need your strength, think about people who have been going through a lot of change. Think about Nelson Mandela, for example. So he spent 27 years in prison and is the first elected president in South Africa. So he didn't give up. Think about Gandhi. Think about other people here in UK. Personally, I think about one person that maybe you don't know. Most of people here in Western countries really don't know. In Congo, we call Kimbangu. Kimbangu is our a big leader, messenger. He fights for our independence. He spent 30 years in prison. He died in prison. But today, his name is in our heart. If I talk to you, because some of people like Kimbangu Lumumba fight, and they show us that the death is not the end of things. You can die, but you need to be persistent on what you are doing, what you are saying. So those are principles that I would like to share with you this morning. If there is any change happen in your life, just think that you should be the leader of the change. Think about how to make it peace with your past, be awareness about what is going, yourself, your people around you, environment, and situation. Be diplomatic and try to to use whole body decision and think about boxer theory. We can learn a lot about it. And at the end, stay persistent, never give up. This is the presentation I would like to share this morning. So I think I just give nature again. If there is any reflection on that, people can share. And uh, if there is a question, we will. It will not be to me, but to give answer. I don't have any answer to everything. So I would like just people to give also reflection. Even I will try my best to reply on question that if someone has much better idea, you can share for us. Thank you so much for attending this presentation. Thank you so much for your time. And that is all that I would like to share this morning.